If nothing seems to be going your way, and life feels overwhelming, this message is for you. When you're stuck in a cycle of stress, doubt, and frustration, it's easy to believe that things will never change. But here's the truth: there is always a way forward. No matter how impossible your situation seems, you have more power than you think. Today, Beyond Vision Mindset is here to give you a roadmap to break free from stagnation and reclaim control over your life. In this episode, you will learn 3 life-changing steps that will help you push through even the toughest moments. These aren't just theories, they are battle-tested strategies backed by psychology, real-life success stories, and the wisdom of those who have turned their struggles into strength. If you feel like life is unfair, if you're tired of setbacks, and if you're looking for a way to move forward, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll have the clarity, motivation, and tools you need to take action, overcome obstacles, and create the change you deserve. But before we dive in, if you're serious about mastering your mindset and overcoming challenges, take a second to like this video, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset, and hit the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to helping you become the strongest version of yourself, and your support helps spread this message to others who need it. Now, let's get into it. 1. Reframe your mindset. Turning obstacles into opportunities. When life feels like it's against you, the first and most important step is to reframe your mindset. The way you perceive challenges determines whether they will break you or build you. Most people see obstacles as signs to give up, but in reality, obstacles are opportunities in disguise. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very challenges blocking your path can become the stepping stones to your success, if you allow them to be. Think about some of the most successful people in history. They didn't have an easy path. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before returning to make Apple what it is today. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before becoming the leader who ended apartheid. They all faced what seemed like insurmountable obstacles. But what separated them from the rest was their ability to reframe setbacks as necessary struggles that would shape their success. Now, let's bring this to your life. You may feel like nothing is working, like every effort leads to failure. Maybe you've lost your job, your relationship is falling apart, or life keeps throwing one setback after another at you. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-pity, to see your circumstances as unfair. But let's shift perspectives for a moment. What if this situation isn't happening to you, but for you? What if it's shaping you into someone stronger, someone more resilient? Your mind is your greatest weapon, but it can also be your greatest enemy. If you tell yourself that you're stuck, that nothing will change, and that life is unfair, you will stay exactly where you are. But if you shift your perspective and start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? Everything changes. This is what the Stoics meant by mastering perception, recognizing that events themselves don't harm us, it's our judgment of them that does. One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is moving from victim mode to growth mode. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of saying, "I have no control over this situation," start asking, "What can I control right now?" The Stoics taught that we don't control external events, only our response to them. And in that response lies our true power. Science backs this up. Studies on neuroplasticity show that your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your thoughts and actions. When you train yourself to see setbacks as lessons, you build mental resilience. Over time, this mindset shift becomes automatic, and life's challenges will no longer feel like dead ends but rather detours leading to something greater. Another key factor in reframing your mindset is visualization. This isn't just some feel-good advice, it's a technique used by Olympic athletes, Navy SEALs, and high-level performers. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, visualize where you want to be. Picture yourself overcoming your current struggles and stepping into a stronger version of yourself. The more you see it in your mind, the more likely you are to make it a reality. The Stoics often practiced negative visualization, imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare themselves mentally. But the goal wasn't to be consumed by fear. It was to face the fear, accept it, and then move forward with courage. But here's the thing, mindset alone isn't enough. You need action. And that's exactly what we'll dive into in the next section. Stay with me, because now that you've learned to master your mind, it's time to take control of your actions. 2. Take control through disciplined action. Shifting your mindset is only the first step. If you stop there, nothing changes. The next step is action, consistent, disciplined action. The Stoics believed in taking responsibility for what is within your control, no matter how unfair life seems. You may not be able to control the obstacles in your way, but you can control your response to them. That means deciding, right now, that you will take action, no matter how small, to move forward. When you feel stuck, your natural instinct is to wait until you feel ready or until circumstances improve. But the hard truth is that waiting for motivation is a trap. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is solid. It's the foundation that keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. And this is where most people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they lack consistency. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we should not be slaves to our emotions but should act according to reason and principle. This means that when life gets tough, you don't let feelings of frustration, hopelessness, or fear dictate your actions. Instead, you rely on discipline. You do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. This is how you regain control over your life. So how do you start? How do you take action when you feel completely stuck? The answer is simple. Start small, but start now. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need to take massive action immediately. But real progress comes from tiny, consistent steps. If you're overwhelmed, break things down. Instead of focusing on fixing everything at once, focus on the next right step. Let's say you've lost your job and are drowning in stress. Instead of panicking about the entire situation, focus on what you can do today. Maybe that means updating your resume. Maybe it means reaching out to 3 potential contacts. Maybe it means applying to 5 jobs, even if you don't feel like it. Or maybe you're dealing with a breakup and feel like your world is falling apart. Instead of drowning in self-pity, take control. Start exercising. Read books that will help you grow. Fill your schedule with productive activities that will build your confidence and independence. Because the truth is, when you act like a strong person, you become one. One of the greatest strategies for disciplined action is setting non-negotiable daily habits. These are actions that you commit to no matter what. It could be as simple as waking up at the same time every day, journaling for 5 minutes, or exercising for 30 minutes. The key is consistency. These small disciplines compound over time and create unstoppable momentum. Another powerful tool is pre-deciding your response to setbacks. The Stoics believed in preparing for adversity before it happens. Instead of reacting emotionally when things go wrong, you train yourself to respond with clarity and logic. If your business fails, you already know your next move. If you lose money, you already have a plan in place. If someone betrays you, you don't let it destroy your peace because you've already accepted that human nature is flawed. The harsh reality is that nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. If you want change, you have to create it. That means taking control of your habits, your time, and your energy. That means eliminating excuses and doing the hard work, even when no one is watching. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. And the best part? It's entirely in your control. In the next section, we'll talk about how to build resilience and find meaning in your struggles, because true strength isn't just about action, it's about enduring and thriving through adversity. 3. Build resilience and find meaning in adversity. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan, how disciplined you are, or how hard you work, there will always be setbacks, failures, and unfair situations. But the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is one thing: resilience. The ability to endure hardships without breaking, to keep moving forward despite the weight of adversity, is what separates the strong from the weak. The Stoics believed that suffering itself is not the problem, it's how we interpret it. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that even in your darkest moments, you still have control over how you perceive your struggles. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, see them as opportunities to grow. Think about the most successful people in history: leaders, inventors, philosophers, and great thinkers. None of them reached greatness without enduring hardship. Every failure, every setback, every moment of doubt was a test that forged them into who they became. The same applies to you. The struggles you face today are shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. But here's the truth most people avoid. Pain without purpose leads to suffering, but pain with purpose leads to transformation. If you can assign meaning to your struggles, they become fuel instead of weights dragging you down. The key is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation make me better? Instead of wasting energy complaining or dwelling on unfairness, focus on the lessons and use them to grow. One of the most powerful ways to build resilience is by training your mind to expect adversity. The Stoics practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, which means premeditating on the worst-case scenario. They didn't do this to live in fear, but to prepare their minds for hardship. They would visualize losing their wealth, facing betrayal, or encountering loss, so that when these things inevitably happened, they were not paralyzed by shock. You can apply this to your life right now. Instead of assuming life will always be smooth, assume that challenges will come. Instead of hoping people will always treat you fairly, understand that betrayal, rejection, and disappointment are part of the human experience. This mindset does not make you negative, it makes you unbreakable. Because when hardship arrives, you won't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. You will already be mentally prepared, ready to face it with strength and clarity. Another key to resilience is shifting your focus from what you've lost to what remains within your control. It's easy to dwell on past mistakes, missed opportunities, or circumstances that didn't go your way. But focusing on the past changes nothing. What matters is what you do now. If you lost your job, the past is irrelevant. What matters is finding a new path. If someone hurt you, dwelling on betrayal won't undo it. What matters is how you respond and move forward. This is why gratitude is one of the strongest resilience building tools. No matter how bad life seems, there is always something to be grateful for. Your health, your mind, your ability to start fresh. Even in the worst circumstances, gratitude shifts your focus from despair to possibility. The more you train your mind to seek the good, the stronger you become. Finally, remember that resilience is built through endurance. The more hardships you overcome, the tougher you become. Just like a muscle strengthens under resistance, your mind becomes unshakable when faced with repeated adversity. If you look back at your life, you'll see proof of this. Things you once thought would break you, but you survived. Moments of pain that seemed unbearable, yet here you are. That is resilience in action. Life will test you. It will push you to your limits. But every challenge is an invitation to rise higher. Instead of resisting adversity, embrace it as the forge that sharpens you. Because in the end, it is not comfort that builds greatness, it is struggle. Now is the time to stand firm, take control, and move forward. Whatever you're facing, you have the power to overcome it. Not by wishing things were easier, but by becoming stronger. Conclusion. Resilience isn't just about surviving hardships. It's about using them to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every setback, every struggle, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to grow. The Stoics understood that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. And that is where true strength lies. So, when life challenges you, don't back down. Face adversity with courage, find meaning in your struggles, and keep moving forward. Because in the end, it's not the easy moments that shape you, it's the battles you overcome. If you found value in this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, on Beyond Vision Mindset, we're here to help you unlock your potential and rise above any obstacle. Stay strong, stay resilient, and we'll see you in the next video.